everyone at the Grant Show. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set health goals and achieve them. Now, you're probably wondering why you aren't as healthy as you want to be. Well, the truth is that most people don't have clear-cut health goals, and without a goal, it is very hard to achieve anything. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to set some realistic health goals and achieve them in record time. So grab a pen and a paper and let's get started. I'll be covering 8 points. Point number 1 is to start by setting realistic health up. All right, let's go. So let's dive into this, shall we? The first goal that I really want to emphasize so much to you is to start by setting realistic health goals. In my digital wellness practice, where I work with emotional eaters, food addicts, and people looking to lose weight, the first thing we talk about is that there is a way to do this. You do this the wrong way, and you will not accomplish your goals. Do this the right way, and you will become unstoppable. Let's go into 3 steps on how to do this. I believe in this being interactive. Step number 1, look back the right way before you set your goals. Step 2, and the second part of this, is to, when you're looking back and understanding what you might have done differently, do it without feelings of being upset. Looking at the emotions that rise to the surface that kind of throw you into this ricocheting binder of regret. Your emotions will try to pull you back down into that moment when it occurred, that time, for example, when you planned on dieting, it didn't work out that way. You planned on going keto, it didn't work out that way. You planned on working out 6 days a week, it didn't work out that way. How many times must you go through this? How many times do you have to go through this pain? You shouldn't have to go through that. And when you do, this is what's pulling you down. Don't relive that pain. Which leads us to step number 3. Remove the emotion and find the value. When you take the emotion away from what happened in the past, you are able to find the value more quickly. Now, if you're having a hard time doing this, our EFT tapping, sound bath hypnosis, and our energy psychology approaches, these work very well to help you fly above the situation and be able to actually understand what happened, the root of what happened, and like I was sharing with one client, give you peace. Because when you're not coming from a place of peace, when you're not coming from a place of clarity, this is where getting healthier, setting your health goals, achieving your health goals, it becomes wobbly at best. This is also where things begin to fall apart and the wheels and the bus begin to fall off because we're too trapped in the emotion. There's a difference between observing it, feeling it, and letting it wash over and through you versus getting sucked in, almost like a prehistoric tar pit. Okay? So make a promise right now, today, no tar pit, no tar pit, no emotional tar pit in order to set your health goals. All right? Okay? All right. So let me and allow me to get into the next topic during our time together. Number 2, make a plan of action to achieve your goal. See, when you adhere to number 1, this makes it so much easier to make a plan of action that will actually be obtainable. When you make a plan of action, not based on the experiences of the past that pull you down into that emotional tar pit and leave you stuck, you're now exploring the possibility. You're exploring the true potential that you have instead of being weighed down and saddled with your past failings. This applies to anything. This is more than health goals. This is about more than counting calories. This is about more than willpower. I hope you know that your health goals are inextricably linked to your life goals. And when we're not achieving our life goals, this is what leads to, and that is often a trigger to us succumbing to binge eating, food addiction, emotional eating, just everything that you don't want. All right, let's get into number 3. Take small steps every day to reach your goal. I should probably rephrase that and say take small steps and check in with yourself every hour throughout the day in order to reach your goal. By the end of the day, especially when you're first starting out, it might be too late. Set your timer on your phone. I want to give you practical tips. Set your timer on your phone to just remind you every hour on the hour. You don't need a fancy app on this one. And just check in with yourself mentally. Do a full body scan and see where you stand. How close are you to being in the headspace to achieving these goals? Are you near or are you far? Are you getting warmer? Are you getting colder? And then pivot before it's too late, before the whole day has passed. Number 4, don't give up if you fall off track. Just get back on track as soon as possible. And I like to give you a way to work here. Getting back on track as soon as possible, it may not be rebounding in a few minutes. It it may be you getting back on track as soon as possible 24 hours later. It may be 5 hours later. It may be 10 minutes later. My point, give yourself some grace. I'm going to say it again. Give yourself some grace, okay? This is the key to staying not only mentally connected, but emotionally and spiritually connected. All right, number 5, celebrate your successes along the way. Now, this doesn't have to be related to money. This doesn't, your celebration is not contingent upon a monetary figure that you spend. Your success celebration along that day and of the day could be as simple as you falling backwards into your bed when you get home and thinking about the day and replaying it in your mind and realizing where you normally would have gone left, you went right. You didn't succumb to the urge to give in to your normal behavior. What this does, it also from a psychological perspective builds up something called self-efficacy in your mind. And this encourages you to keep going. All right. Number 6, ask for help when needed. Now, I want to make this very clear because this is where we also crash and burn on our way to our health goals, our life goals, transforming. Ask for help from the seat and position of curiosity and exploration, not desperation. Okay? This will change everything in terms of how you ask for help. I remember one time going on a date with a gentleman, and we were very interested in each other. This was before, of course, I was married. I've been married for almost 20 years. And he was very interested in me, but he didn't disclose prior to our date something that is on my deal breaker list. Now, I won't go into what that was, but it. So I shared with him once he disclosed, I shared with this lovely gentleman once he disclosed that he had one of the attributes that was on my deal breaker list, I share with them, we can't continue. I can end the date right now if you want. No harm, no foul, nothing. Just I don't want you and to spend time in a direction that we all know, both of us know, it's not going to result in anything. It can't result in anything. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It just means that we're not good people to be together. I shared with this gentleman while we were on a date. Once again, this was before I got married. And an interesting thing happened. He said, I really, really would like to date you. I think I can change. I can change. I definitely can change. It's not a problem. Just give me a chance. Give me a couple of months. I can change. You'll see. You can even help me change. Have you ever been in a situation like that where someone is begging you for something? And how did that make you feel? If you're anything like most of my clients that I talk to about their issues with emotional eating, food addiction, trying to lose weight, it's always that ick factor. It's almost like that salesperson that you encounter that's begging you for the sale. It doesn't make you want it more, it makes you want it less. So this is the reason why when I talk about you asking for help, you're not asking for help from the position of being disempowered. When you ask for help from the perspective and the position of curiosity and exploration, it changes the rhythm and it changes the context and it changes the outcome of the conversation. Once again, remember too, your health goals are inextricably linked to your life goals. So if there is something in your life that is a goal that's important to you, let's say that you're a student in college and you're trying to work so hard on this class and, well, quite frankly, you're working on it and it's working on you at the same time. Begging your teacher for help, for example, your professor for help, that's not going to move the needle as powerfully if you asked for help, but from a position of, I've been working on this. I'm giving you your words here. I've been working on this and I'm stuck on this one thing. Here's how I approached solving the problem, but I'd like to get someone else's opinion and expertise. Perhaps you would like to chime in on telling me where I should have gone left when I went right. I'm very curious to hear your answer and your insight. Can you imagine being approached that way on anything in your life? Can you imagine how everything would shift and change for you? Can you imagine the caliber of interaction and answer that you would get? Don't overlook this key step. This is going to be the answer to fixing a lot of challenges in your life, coming from a position of empowerment. Yeah? Yeah? My digital wellness practice, and I'm working with emotional eaters all the time, people that are binging on food, people that want to lose weight. We're often discovering and uncovering and unpacking that a lot of the challenges that they're experiencing in life when they begged for help and they demanded help, that was the first brick that was placed in the foundation of that wall that built up between them and the person they were requesting it from. I teach them how to ask from a place of openness, a place of curiosity, and how to ask without the emotions getting all tangled up in the way. For those of you that are in relationships with significant others and you've asked them to take out the trash more than you care to count or admit, asking from a place of anger and they do it is different than just simply asking from a place of openness and acknowledging maybe whatever they have going on as the reason why they didn't do it. It lowers your agitation and stress level as well, which once again is often a trigger to binge eating and weight gain if you keep this habit up. All right. Number 7, stay motivated by keeping a magnetic energy. It's important to find the feeling that is powering your motor, so to speak. When you set your health goals, look deeper than wanting to fit into a certain dress size or pant size. Go deeper into closing your eyes and really visualizing what this health goal will do for you. If it's weight loss, what does this health goal do for you? Does it allow you to have a certain level of mobility because your knees are taking on too much weight? Does it allow you to feel much better about yourself? And by feeling better about yourself, perhaps it will help you move closer in the direction of more confidence. And that confidence unlocks better relationships, better leadership opportunities. This is what I mean. Not just the number on the scale, not the 10 pounds, not the 15 pounds, not the 30 pounds on the scale. What does this unlock? Immerse yourself in the feeling of that. And that is what is going to be what powers your, so to speak, motor. Okay? Without that, not taking this approach, which by the way, you can't afford not to, not taking this approach basically results in the life that you've been living already. If you've been trying to set your health goals and start positive behaviors and implement positive change and achieve them, and it doesn't last for very long, this is what you're doomed to repeat over and over and over and over and over. Did I neglect to say over again? When you access the real feeling that powers this motor behind your health goals, you'll be alive longer for your family, for your children. You'll be able to look at yourself in the mirror and know that you did it. And you feel good without any aches and pains when you wake up in the morning because that extra weight was compromising your ability to truly show up in the way that you wanted. Go deeper. Fall into the feeling. Immerse yourself in the feeling. All right, okay. Let me go into number 8. Number 8, never, ever give up. I was speaking to an entrepreneur one time, and he was sharing with me that his health had been failing because he was working so hard in boosting and building his business. And he felt that he was going to have to give up his job, his company, in order to pursue a job, which was his worst nightmare. It meant that he was going to have to tell people, it meant that he was going to have to concede defeat, and he thought this also meant that he was going to have to give up on his dream. And I shared with him at that time, when did you come to that conclusion? Often when we set our health goals and we don't meet them, and we have to go a different direction for just due to life's happenings, often we think that we have to do one in lieu of the other, this or that, this option or that option. If this, then that. The question I always ask is, when did you decide that? Ask yourself, when did you decide this? When did you decide that in order to achieve your health goals, then you'd have to give up all the food that you love? When did you decide in order to achieve your health goals, you couldn't have a fun life. It's these small steps, even in terms of your job, even in terms of people that might be toxic. As a leader, we never have the perfect staff that we're over. There are always going to be people that work for us, that energize us, and then there are some people that are going to leave you overwhelmed or stressed out. Revel in the people that give you energy. It doesn't mean, for those of you that are considering either switching jobs or giving up your entrepreneurial pursuits, it just might mean you need to pivot so that the stress that you're absorbing, how you're processing that stress, begins to shift. And when you process your stress and learn how to process your stress in a more effective and constructive way, you'll be able to maintain your healthy habits for the rest of your life. You'll finally be able to reach your health goals. But you have to have the tools. You have to have the psychological tools, the energetic tools. You have to have the tools that allow you to reach in and identify in your subconscious mind what might be blocking you. You have to take this approach first before we can even hop on the bus and train of fitness and which workouts to do, food, how much protein to eat, macros versus micros, carbs versus non-carbs. You must address the mindset and the energy psychology part first, your neuroacoustic code first. If that first leg isn't taken care of, then everything else for your health goals, they'll fall flat. You'll go back into the cycle of constantly not achieving your health goals. And that is not what we're about here in my digital wellness practice here at Phoenix 6. We are about helping you set your health goals, those positive behaviors that you've been wrestling with and tussling with, trying to get them to stay in place, those stress reduction tools that you keep trying to make it work and it feels like you're jamming and ramming a square peg into a very tiny pinprick size of a hole. We're not even going to call it round. We're just going to call it pinprick size. Okay. It's because you're missing the energy psychology piece, the neuroacoustic code, your neuroacoustic code. And this takes more than just reading a book. Although a book is helpful, it's the first leg, it brings about awareness. This takes, for those people that are serious about disconnecting from the behaviors of the past, this takes one-on-one time. This takes personalization. This takes a lot of compassion using evidence-based approaches, and this takes some love. If you can imagine a future with your health goals being accomplished easier, simply, and you feel drawn to that happening, then perhaps we should have an interesting conversation and we see how we can get you there. Feel free to reach out to me at the number that's listed here, 312-601-8510, or you can reach out to me on edibleaddiction.com. My name is Dr. Kirsten Grant. I am the president of Phoenix 6. Our digital wellness practice works with people that struggle with food addiction, emotional eating, weight loss, and are seeking a evidence-based yet tailor-made, personalized solution. No more gimmicks, no more cookie cutter approaches, that takes a very integrative yet functional approach to your goals that can get you there much, much faster compared to all the things that you've been doing on your own. All right, everyone, the Dr. Grant Show, we are wrapping up season 5. We are on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Get ready for our book that will be released September 1st, The New Sound Bath. Much love to you. Bye.